Unicorn was walking through the desert. He had fled his hometown because he had been disowned from his family and friends because of his womanly eating disorder. It had gotten so serious that you could see the ribs poking through his side. As he was walking through the desert, he started to feel the effects of starving himself, and he collapsed. A hole burst through his stomach, looking for food to nourish his body and mind. Then, when Unicorn thought all hope was lost, he came across an odd discovery in a dream. In the dream, Unicorn was walking through the desert on a very lonely day. He had been disowned from his family and friends because of his womanly eating disorder. His eating disorder had gotten so bad and so unaccepted that he fled to the desert. And it was so serious that his ribs were showing. On that lonely day, the Unicorn was stranded in the middle of the desert, not sure where to go, and he passed out. A hole had burst through his stomach and Then, at that precise moment in his dream, an army man came through the horrible forest of lush foliage and wetlands into a desert, where he came across a unicorn with an eating disorder. He splashed water onto the unicorn's face, but the unicorn did not wake. So he decided to jump on its stomach. Unicorn woke with a start and said, "What you be doing, fool? Don't be jumping on my stomach." And the army man said, "I noticed that you are malnourished and in danger of killing yourself
and having bad hair."
At this news, Unicorn was so shocked that he could be doing this to his body that he cried. He cried in the corner for several hours until Army Man came up with a bright idea. Ding!
Let us go
Unicorn!
to Tissue Mountain.
Shut up! Unicorn, I want to show you something very, very, very of great importance. So, Unicorn followed Army Man to a great mountain with a sunflower painted on the side. And that mountain was called Tissue Mountain. And Army Man crawled up the side of Tissue Mountain to the very top, and he screamed down to Unicorn, "Unicorn! Unicorn!" And Unicorn said, "Nay! Nay!" And Army Man said, "This is what you are doing to yourself when you don't eat enough food." And he jumped off the mountain and died. Back to reality, Unicorn stirred in her sleep. Stir, stir. And she woke with a start, frightened of the dream she had just imagined. Then, Unicorn realized that starving herself was not the way to get attention, and it is not the way to live. If you just look at her beautiful assets, her ribs,
but more importantly, her assets.
Her ribs are being shown throughout her body, and that hole in her stomach is gaping. It's like a giant black abyss. Unicorn realized at that precise moment after her dream that the reason she wasn't being accepted by her friends and family was because she was anorexic and totally disgusting.
And white.
And white. Unicorn decided to start eating, but that turned out to have an opposite effect. But that will be in the next story of Unicorn. Unicorn then returned back to her village and told the people and unicorns about the news of her epiphany. She had decided that starving herself was not the solution. And when the people asked why, she said because an army man killed himself. The end.
And now, boys and girls, Mr. Snuggles is going to have a session about what you have learned in The White Pony.
Unicorn.
Yes, unicorn, whatever. Yes, you over there. What is your question?
I would like to know what the dangers of anorexia are, because I want to look like Paris Hilton and Nicole Richie and Mary-Kate and Ashley and Misha Barton and Kim Stewart, Rob Stewart's daughter.
Oh, yes, and you over there. You, yes. What do you have to say about the topic?
I think that starving yourself is a stupid way to tell people you don't like their cooking.
Or the Irish should be very frowned on you. Yes, they would.
Aye, matey.
Australia? Is that you?
This story has a very serious message. It's that anorexia is not the way to solve your problems and be accepted by the world. Because in recent years, eating disorders like
Have
anorexia
increased by 73%.
and bulimia have increased by 73% and have been less accepted by the common celebrity.
Says Ba Ba the Billy Goat.
Anorexia and bulimia are bad, says Ba Ba the Billy Goat.
Say bye-bye to the Billy Goat.